Hello, hello, hello. Is everything working? Kind of working? There we go. Hello, Vexverse. The dumb question hater. You don't subscribe to the thing that, there are no dumb questions? If you haven't, you've probably been in education. Okay, so PERLER recap. This is what we did yesterday. We have Altair from yesterday. And see, it still kind of bothers me ever so slightly that this particular color of purple here is showing up blue on camera. Let me turn the song down, because this is actually very purple for me. It's just so you know, they're a person that's a professional streamer because they're fixing things on camera. Okay, let me see if I can change my white balance. Man, I really have to crank that. Yeah, okay. Default that back. I have to crank my white balance way up to even get that to start turning into the color that it actually is. I mean, that's a little better. I want that on, that to kind of compensate for the lower light that I have here to avoid the glares. Okay, that's either on or off. I love this song. I realized just now that I have the wrong PERLER map up there, but that's okay. I don't think saturate. We've got it showing purple, so that's a win. Showing purple is a win. Okay, so we have from oh, whoa, model jumping. From yesterday, we did Altair. And there's the flat side. So the way that I'm ironing my PERLERs, and I mentioned this, I iron out a flat side, and then I leave a bead side. So all the structure is actually right here on the flat side, and then the bead side is pretty open. And that's how I'm going to be ironing out all of the PERLERs. So yesterday we did Altair, and we did young Clive Rossfield from Final Fantasy 16. And today we're going to be moving on both in FF16 and in Guild Tempest. Once again, beginning with Guild Tempest. Okay, so we're going to turn off that logo. And we are working on the great Magni Dezmond today. Alright, and as before, we're going to start with black. And I got my tweezers right up here. I don't have my cloth pulled up as high as I would like it to be. Let's see if I can. And we'll flip this over. Yeah, that works. I don't know what this purple is. Like, I have an idea as to what's causing the purple hue. And the blue part right here. So if you're wondering what that blue thing is, that is the microphone, because my setup is hella jank. Can I tilt the entire mic apparatus back like 1 degree? And tilt that up. Now, one thing I can do is kind of my janky zoom from yesterday. Make sure Torgal still lines up. Yep. All of the jank. All of it. All jank all the time. Okay. Now we're back over here on green. The music has stopped. Oh no. Oh no. Why has the music stopped? Okay. There we go. We're going to see if I can stick on some Final Fantasy music today. Alright. Now with Desmond here, can I click up one more time? I kinda can. Okay. He slides up and down a bit. Alright. So we can start pretty much right at the bottom. But I'm going to start over a little bit, because I am fairly certain we're going to need probably 2 other boards for Desmond here. So I'll go ahead and lay those down. Oh, that board doesn't like to lay right there. There we go. I have plenty of these PERLER boards, so if I ever get one that doesn't like to lay in a certain orientation, I can just swap it out for a new one. Okay. So we're starting right down here at the bottom. Right here with these 3. Stepping up 2. And there we go. The first beads are set. Now Magni here does not have a lot of black in his design. Looks like that's 9 beads across this line. There's 6. There's 8. And 9. Alright. We can go up 3. And then we'll put a little square on top of that. Just a happy little square. If I can pick up my little beads here. Here we go. I've elected to go with more just pure Final Fantasy music today, because that's the mood that I'm that I am in. 16 has put me in a good Final Fantasy mood. And I've always been a fan of some of the classic themes of Final Fantasy. By themes, I mean music, not like literary themes. Although I am also a fan of a lot of the like themes of the Final Fantasy games. Okay, what do we got? That. Okay, that should be pretty close to the little black design that we have going on right through here. Okay, so we have 2. Then we have this kind of double square thing. Then 3 off the top and 1 off to the right. Alright. Alright. We are making good progress. And then looks like we skipped 2. And we have 4 beads in a row right here. Just like that. And then down 1, over 1, right? No, over 1, down 2. So we have 2 empty spots right there, yes. And then that right there. And I do believe that is all of the black pieces in the entire design. Okay. I do think we also have definitely this color brown. And I think this color brown. As for the 2 browns, because there is a lot of brown in this design. So yeah, I think it's this one and this one. Because when we go into the next section, which is of course on the bottom of what I've got stacked up over here. No, it'd be before. Yeah, right here. Yeah, we'll be hitting that one up, but I think for a lot the like super light colors. Wow. The music is getting very loud in my headset. Okay, so I think we're just on the browns right now. So let's turn this way. And start placing these dark brown pieces in, I guess. Got 2 right there. Little L-shaped guy right there. And then off of that black one, we have a brown right there. And then 2 more. A little vertical line right there. And then we have this kind of long L-piece design. Oh. Needs a jumpy one. There we go. Up 4 and over 1. Just like that. And that, I think, is all of the brown bits for down there. We do have some brown bits that are going to be like over here. I may have to put in the 4th plate right there. So I'm going to go ahead and set aside 3 brown beads way over here. That are going to be the ones that I need to put in for the hand around here. I think there's 3. No, it looks like there's 4 there. Because on the glove, I think that's more of a copper or gold than a light brown color there. Yeah, and it looks like we got a nice dark brown up in the head section too. So I think we'll be revisiting the brown at some point. I'm gonna go ahead and drop these light brown pieces in right here. 3 right there. 2 right here. 2 more, but on the other side. Right, like that. And then 1 more right on the other side like that. There we go. Oh no. Okay. Why? Hold on, my phone is acting up for some reason. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I was saying low battery, and I have it plugged in, so I don't know why it would be giving me a low battery warning. All right. Let's go ahead and close up this guy for right now. We're not gonna have any blue, I think. We're gonna have a lot of purple. So we can lay down purple and we can lay down red. Okay. Now I can immediately see several different colors of purple here. And we may be pulling some mulberry out of here, actually. Where's 4? Okay. I think our purple options start here. Okay, so how many different shades of purple do we need? We need a deep one and a dark purple. I think that's going to be these two. Although this still looks like blue on camera. It is purple in real life. Okay, so I'm looking at this color right here, and I think that's going to be this. So we're looking at that for that color right there. And then for the darker, I think we're looking at that and this. Iris. Okay, so this color is called Iris. I don't know. Iris may be an outlier right now. This is pastel lavender, I believe. It can serve as a lighter of the two. And then this is actual lavender, which gives me a nice purple shading right there. So I got the dark, middle, and lighter colors right there, and the deeper color right there. And then I think plum will serve as the other purple I need. So coming out of this box, we've got mulberry right here and plum right here. And I think I'll be looking at plum. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out 6 little beads of plum and plop them over here. Because I think there's only 6 of these. We got this one right here. We've got these 4 right here, and then we've got 2 right here. Oh no, we got 2 more right up here. Okay. So 8 little beads of plum. And then for the reds, I think we're going to be going cranapple, red, wow, the saturation on these reds is something else. But we got cranapple for the dark one, red for the middle range one, and then we need 2 lighter versions of red. Lighter versions of red that maybe aren't pink. This one, perhaps, raspberry. And then perhaps salmon. Or, I'm sorry, rose. This is rose. This is salmon? Where's salmon? Oh, salmon's in the other box. Okay. So I'm thinking for my red layout, I'll go ahead and plop this in right there. For the dark, for the red, scoot that around a bit. Does that work as kind of a lighter red? We got this. Oh, there we go. Rose definitely works as a lighter red. And then we'll need something very pale after rose. Let us take a look at what other shades we have. Alright, after rose, I think we can maybe just hit up that color, which is, this is color, it's called Flamingo. And I think that was gonna match down perfectly. So this is kind of our color palette right over here. Because I need shades of color that are going to match out. And so that's what I've got going right here. It's kind of my color matching palette. So now I know which reds I'm going to use and which purples I'm going to use to kind of try and match everything up. And then I've got these, which are that color. And these, which are that color. Bam. Okay, so now I have an idea of which reds and purples that I'm going to use. I can fill in the rest of this with a little more confidence now. Okay, we're going to start right here in the middle area. Like inside this little black box, because there's a lot of purple going on inside there. And we want to start with this color purple and that color purple in there. So we start right here. Actually, no, we don't. We're gonna put those two right there. We're gonna reach for this purple, which actually goes right there. And this is, I think, the only place where we see this color purple. So we'll go ahead and place all of this down. Come on, there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3 blocks up with doubles right there. So we've got like a little 6-block rectangle going on. And then right off the top of that, we've got that little guy. And right here. Alright, and then right above that, you've got like 2 more spots right like that. Bam, and there we are right there. That little middle design. Okay. And continuing with this color, we got a few more right there. And 1 right there. And then 2 up right here. We have 1, 2, 1, and 1 more. Right like that. Alright, and then from the tip there, with a gap in the middle, spaced 1 over, we got that one right there. Then we space 2 and we'll have the little fork design right there. Perfect. Alright, and it looks like we do have some more of this color popping up a little bit later in some other parts. But right now, we can go back to this one and filling it in down here. Alright, so we've got a little blocked out portion down here we want to fill out. Looks something like that, I think. Yeah, we've got a little square in the middle, 3 down one side and 1 off the other. Perfect. And then, that was this one? Yes. Alright, right here, we're going to drop in that pastel lavender. Just like that. And then this color is called lavender. You got 3 little beads of that right there. Alright, and then the colors around the outside here are actually grays. So we're going to leave those for right now and come back over here and take a look at what we have around this other purple here. And it looks like we're going back to pastel lavender. Right here, we've got 2 right there. And 1 right there. And then it looks like we've got 2 right like that. And then 1 of these plum pieces that I set aside actually goes right there. Perfect. Look, right there, right in the middle. And that is this part right here. Alright, and then we have actually got some of this, like different color dark purple running through right here. Just like that. And we got two more right there. And I think that's it for that part right there. Now, moving on towards the middle piece, right here. That little hook design there. Looks like we got two of these guys right there. And then we just kind of go down 4 spaces, just like that. And then it looks like we step over 3 spaces, and then we've got a rectangle. Or a little square, actually. Step over 3, and then we put down a little square beads like that, and then 1 off the top corner of that square, just like that. Perfect. And then right above it, and then we're going to go up right here. All right. And then we kind of repeat that little shape one more time right behind it. Okay, and that is this part right here of the design. All right. Let's see here. Where are we at? Ah, looks like we have some more of this. This color here is called Great. The one that I was having so much trouble with. Okay, from this part of the design right there, we're going to skip 4 squares. And then put down 2 right there. And then, right next to it, we kind of want to skip an angle and then put down 2 right there. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be running into this part when I start building out the hand. This section right here. Because I'm right here right now. And I'm basically at the end of the board. Alright. That looks like we've got more of this color. Kind of right here, connecting the 2 pieces. Just like that. And we got 2 more of these. I think right like this. Bam. And then, right on the other side of that, we've got that going on in a little L shape, like a flipped L shape pattern. And then right there. And then randomly all the way down here, kind of in the middle, right here, I think, is where that little guy goes. And then we've got this right around him, just like that. Just like that. And then more of the grape color right here around the outside. There's a lot more of the grape than what I thought there was now that I'm actually getting here, putting it down. We got these little grape blocks all over the place. Okay, so we got that T going right there. All right. Then we got this little pattern going up right there, connecting around. Yeah. And then right here, we got two of these purple blocks right there in the middle. So now we have that going up right there. That's the pastel part. I think these two blocks over here are actually purple. So from the corner of the T, right here we have two purple blocks. And right there we have two little red bits. So we'll be filling those in a little bit later. And then we've got some of the plum blocks right here. So we'll be pulling these ones I set aside right there, specifically for that part of the design. All right, so now we built the center part. We built part of the center part. We need to come back with lavender, pastel lavender, right here. We have one bead of it right here in the middle of that, and then 3 along the bottom right here, and then looks like 4 along the top. One thing I've never been good at myself is generating pixel art. Like, I know a couple of guys who are pixel artists, and they are just absolute magic when it comes to just the design of this. Because pixel art is just, it's crazy how just how it is. That you can take something that's like a real life drawing or cartoon or something and then turn it into a pixel design where, like, when you zoom in this close, you're like, oh, it's just a mess of pixels, but you just kind of blur your vision a little bit and it turns into a picture. That is just amazing to me. Pixel artists are magic. Now, I actually do have all the grays right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at putting in the gray pieces, shall we? We're going to need a dark gray, which is one of these two. And I'm more inclined to go with actually that one. Yeah. And we're going to need a lighter gray, which I think we're going to go with this one. So this is charcoal and this is slate. So yeah, I think we're going to go with charcoal and slate for my gray colors. And starting down here, put a charcoal right there. And we've got 3 of them right here. And then one more right there. And then kind of, yeah, like right above the black line. Another one right there. And we're putting in 2 right there. Kind of making a little belt here. And then right above and right below on the other side. Just like that. Alright, and then right over here in this corner, we'll be dropping in the gray one. And we got two more right down here. We drop in one right here. And then one right here. Just like that. And then we're gonna have browns filling in there, and we got yellows filling in here. Alright, then we're gonna have some dark gray right over here. So kind of right there. And then make a little L shape. Boom, just like that right there. Alright, where's the next time we see this charcoal gray color? I think it is actually right here, where we have a little square that is made out of charcoal gray. That piece right there is actually this purple. So I can go ahead and lay that there. Yeah, we can put that right there. Alright, and then we have a little gray section right here, I think. Yeah, so we go over 2, and then we run down 4. And then down 2 more, just like that. And then right there, we've got those yellow beads. We'll go ahead and throw down the slate right here. 3 on top and 3 on the bottom. Just like that. Alright, we got 2 more slate pieces coming down right here. And then 2 more all the way down here. Bam, just like that. Alright, where else do we have a slate colored piece? I think right here in the middle of this. Put one right there. And right over here, drop one in right like that. There we go. Now the whole bottom part is starting to come together. Okay, so we got these 2 pieces here, which are going to be yellow. These 2 pieces, which are red. Here's some yellow pieces right here. And then we have a red bit here and off of here. Alright. And then we got a red bit coming off here with yellow at the top, because these are some of the other hands. And then up into the head. Alright, so I'm going to move my little color marker right over here. Man, this reminds me of not that long ago when I was actually playing Final Fantasy IX on the channel. Alright, and those are the dark brown pieces. Why did I pull out 4 dark browns? Do I remember? Do I actually remember why I pulled out these 4 like brown pieces? I don't. I do not remember why I pulled out these brown. Huh. I was looking at something. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need 4 brown pieces for that. But man, if I can remember what it is. Huh. Funny how that works, isn't it? Alright. Alright. We're gonna start getting things coming together here when we're laying down this red. Because a lot of the red just ties everything together with Magni's suit here. So we're going to be laying cranberry down first, as it's kind of like the border bead for everything red. There we go. And then one more, and then two right below that, just like that. Alright, and then we step over into our red, and this color is just called red. Alright, and then we have this color. And which color were you? Were you that one or that one? This one. Okay. Rose. So our next color we had in place was rose. Right like that. Bam. And this is this portion right here. Alright, so now we're going to lay in these two outstanding red beads right here. And we're going to build the other leg portion right here, and we're going to start with cranberry. Right here, I do believe. No, right here. Yeah. And then, yeah, it looks like we go down 4. Just like that. And then we're building one of those little Tetris pieces. Right like that. Okay, now I have a discrepancy, like a line discrepancy here. Aha, there we go. Yeah, and then one more cranberry bead right there. So yeah, there we go. Now we're outlining correctly. I had done this entire outline wrong by coming straight down from that piece right there instead of stepping over and coming down 4. I just went 4 down from that, and that messed everything up. But we got it all sorted. Yay. Okay, so now we have some red pieces. And this is some of that pixel magic that I was talking about, where that comes in. Because I like the shading of colors on a piece of pixel art is insane. Especially as you start getting into more like 16, or maybe this is like maybe a 32-bit sprite. Like when you get like this or smaller, like particularly this level, the shading is crazy. Because if you have like a huge picture, right? that has like millions of colors, but it's just made out of like bigger pixels. It's a lot easier to get like traditional shading methods going on that. But when you're working on something on this scale, to get shading right, that's crazy. Like I would never be able to just like solve this and figure this out. It is totally beyond my ability to create pixel art on this scale. Okay, we could put one cranberry right there. Like I can recreate it as a perler. I could draw it. I am not good at drawing though. There will probably not be drawing art streams. That is not something that that is in the cards. I am not that kind of artist. Okay, I'm gonna put two of these rose ones right there. One right there. And then we'll step into red. Right like that. And then we've got cranberry going on right below it. And right over here beside it. Just like that. And that's the little bits right there around the collar. Okay, now we got the little bits over here around this hand, which is gonna start cranberry piece right there. One here. And one there. And then we've got three. Going up right here. Just like that. And two more right there and there. Perfect. Now we're looking at red, which we have a little Tetris piece going on of red right here. Ooh, I almost picked up cherry. This color is red. This color is cherry. There's an ever so slight difference. This one is a little bit deeper than the regular red here. All right, so I got that little Tetris piece, that little bit right there. Oh, now this is a tune here. This is the piece of music that gets Final Fantasy VII fans excited whenever they hear it at a game show or game awards or something. All right, drop that right there. One more piece of rose right here. Alright, looks like we got two right up here. And then two pieces of cranberry that I missed right here. Just like that. No, that's not cranberry, that's red. That's why I missed it, because it was just regular red. Okay, and then these are the lighter reds. And then we got yellows working through there. So the only things we're missing through the body here are yellow pieces, it looks like. And maybe, I think rust. It's the color that goes right there. And I think that's the only bead of that color. No, I see like 3 more. So I'll set aside 3 rust-colored beads for when I get up to the face. Did I not set those on pegs? I did not. I'm setting beads over to the side. You can't see them because they're covered up on the camera right there. I do need to double check. Bam. There we go. Okay. So I think we're ready to actually set off. You can kind of see what I was doing right over here if I bring all these boards into place. Setting beads down over here. For colors that I think I'm going to use, although I don't remember why I put the browns out here. Like I had to put them here for something. I just don't remember what that something is. Alright. Okay, so we got yellow. I'm going to start in with the cranberry apple. Cran apple. Put 2 down right there. That Sobina. Alright, and then 1 up right here. Okay, and then right here on the other side of that 4, we go up 1. Alright, and we go over 2 and make another little crazy Tetris piece right here. Just like that. And then skip up 1 and over. Like a weird offbeat pattern right there. And then right there. Then looks like from that we skip over 2, we got 1 right there. Yeah. And then right here, we got this short little L piece just like that. Yep. And then we step into red. Right behind that, got a bit of red right there. And we've got red kind of just snaking its way down this whole section right over here. Just like that. Although I realize now I don't have those purple beads in place, so you can't really see what the red is snaking its way along. But we'll be able to see that in a minute when I get that other purple piece placed in there. Alright, and we go over 2 and down 1 more. Just like that. Greetings, Mr. Venture. I am making perlers today and just randomly talking about things while I do. How has your day been? Relaxing, I hope. Alright, we got 2 little red pieces down right there. And 1 more right over here in that corner. And then we can step up and grab some of these rose pieces. Looks like we got a big square right here. Nice little 4x4 square of rows. And then this is going to be flamingo. Put that down there. And we got one piece of rose right there. Then a piece of flamingo and a rose. I'm not placing the flamingo at the moment because it's in the other box. So I will be pulling that out right after I finish with this one because it's sitting right over there. Speaking of being finished with this one, I think I'm finished with this one. Alright, so we got that red. We got that. There's some more purple I need to pull out. So I need to pull the purple box back out here. Because I don't have the purple bit right here. And I don't have the purple bit going up into the hair. Or the little clip he has on his hair on this side. Yeah, so let's go ahead and sort out that purple, shall we? And now this is a classic piece of Final Fantasy music. Our playlist today is Final Fantasy music because why not? Final Fantasy is fantastic. And the music is every bit as fantastic as everything else in these games. Okay, so it looks like we're starting right here. Right, like that. And then put 2 down there. And 1 over. This particular song, I believe, comes from Final Fantasy IV. If my recollection is correct, and it could not be correct. That happens from time to time. Alright, and then we want pastel lavender for this. 1 there and 1 there. And right here. Bam. Alright. Right here. We have pastel lavender at the top and the bottom. And another plum piece. Right there in the middle of that. So yeah, and then we got that little piece taken care of. We got this little hair design. This goes here. Yeah. Okay, and then for the upper hair design on the other side, we got those pieces of plum. This piece of lavender. And then this pastel lavender, which is I can go ahead and just put this in the design that it's going to be in over there. I like that. Or should I change it up? I think I should change that up, I think. Make an executive decision to pull out the pastel lavender and replace it with purple. Yeah, I think it might work a little bit better. And I can always swap it. In fact, I'll pull out these the appropriate set of lavender beads over here in case I decide I want to swap that back to the original color. All right, all right. So now let's see. How many white beads do we need? Just 2, it looks like. All right. So we got this box, which we're going to be pulling out white and flamingo from there. And then we need to find our yellow colors here. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? Look at that artifacting right there. Okay. There we go. It's still doing it a little bit. Cameras. Okay. So we've got kind of like a goldeny color, I think, right here that we're going to use for some things. Let's see. I think yellow. Okay, so I need to make sure that I actually get these colors correct. I think we're going to be using sand for the face color and highlighting sand with peach, which is right here. You guys can't really see peach all that well, but peach is right here. Let me see if I can fix some of that blowout that's happening out there. We go. So this is peach, which I think I'm going to be hitting the highlights. Like this color right here, I think is going to be peach. Whoop. Okay, so this color right here, I think is going to be peach, and this color right here, I believe is going to be sand, which is right here. So as far as this like dark yellow, brownish color right here, I'm not sure This is, I need book 2. Because that's probably gonna fall into one of the browns up here. And in fact, light brown is what I'm using at the bottom. I think that's actually gonna be gingerbread. Meanwhile, I can take these and put them back in there. So yeah, I think I'm actually going to be using gingerbread for the darker brown bits around the hands. Yeah. Okay. So, I'll put that there. We will come back to that one in a moment. Right now, we're going to go ahead and place down the 2 white beads that I know about. Actually, we're going to place them up here because I don't think I'm ready to actually place either of them down yet. What we are ready for is flamingo. Alright, so all the way down here, we've got 3 little pieces, and just to match up that I'm placing the right bead, yep. Got that right there. And then, up over here, we have one right there. And right there. Yeah, because we have yellow going in right there. Lovely. Then over here, we got 1 flamingo bead right there. We've got 2 right here. And 1 more right here. Just like that. Bam. Now we've got the red sections set up and highlighted properly, I think. Starting to come together. All right. Where else do we have anything that's needed from this box right now? We have yellow that we might need. So am I going to use yellow, or am I going to use like a pastel yellow? Okay. What is the next? I think we're going to go ahead and use gingerbread and outline the claw pieces. Now, let's see here. We'll start with this one over here, I think. We have a gingerbread piece right there. And then 2 more right there. And then angled up, we got 2 right there. 2 there. 2 coming off right there. 1 going down. Just like that. Bam. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. Now let's take a look at what we got going on over here. 2 right there. then above that, we got 2 right there. And then 2 right there. Yeah, 2 up and then 2 more right there. Perfect. And now, got those red pieces, and we got 3 little gingerbread pieces right there. Bam, just like that. And then 2 more right there, right next to that little rose piece. And then that's cranberry going down there. And we're back to brown over here when we start making the headpiece. And we can go ahead and place these 2 white pieces, because one of them goes right here, and one of them goes right here. Okay, so we've got like a darker yellow going on right here, and then a lighter yellow right there. And these are the only 2 yellows that I think we need. This right here, I would call that more of like a goldenrod yellow. I did set aside these other little rust colors right here. That go right here. Right like that. And then that goes up near the eye. Okay, let's go ahead and set the rest of the, since we've already got this open, we can go ahead and set in the rest of these brown, which I didn't set in before because I didn't have a reference to go from down here all the way up here before I put in all of this purple. But now that the purple is here, I have the exact reference I need to start laying down the brown pieces. Okay, then 2 over from that. Gives us that nice little brown pull right there. And then from that corner, we angle up 1. And then we go up 3. From another angle up right there. Bam. And let's see if I can get a solid reference. So right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the 6th row. Bam, those 2. And then that rust one. Right there. And that is where the eye is. And that is going to be important for later. And I think I need one more rust colored one right here. Okay, then it looks like I stepped over to the light brown color. And we will go ahead and do that right here. And start just filling in around the head. with light brown, just like that. Right there near the top with that. Those two, and we go over like that. Oh, here's a song. Arguably the most popular piece of music from Final Fantasy X. I think definitely one of the most memorable. And not just because it's on like the main menu of Final Fantasy X. When you get to this scene in the game, it's just you completely understand what's going on. Like there aren't any secrets about it anymore. And it's just it's the perfect like melancholy song. Alright, we actually put this right here because this is what we're gonna start dropping in. This drops in right here. That goes right there. And that goes right there. Okay, so we got that piece right there. And I think it's actually kind of brilliant putting this, because everybody sees this scene when they play the game. Because they put it on the title screen, like the game starts here. And that's actually something I think a lot of people like don't realize, that pretty much the entirety of Final Fantasy X is told in flashback. Because you start on this scene. Okay. And then you play the game until you get back to this scene. Which is kind of a brilliant way to do it. Because then from the player's perspective, like you don't know what's going to happen. Oh no, I need to be up one from that. There we go. So yeah, so there's always that point throughout the game that makes you think of the narrator, right? Because Tidus is kind of narrating the game, but Tidus is narrating the game from that point in the story. So when you get there, actually in the game, yeah, I'm probably making more out of it than what it actually is. But it was always an interesting point for me. Am I gonna have? I don't think I am. I think I'm just gonna barely miss it. Oh my god, look at that. So I just barely missed having to put in that other board for like one peg right there. Okay, let me actually count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 2. Then 1, 2. Then 2 down. Then 1. And then, yeah, I just barely missed having to put in that other board. We got 2 brown right there. But yeah, the whole of Final Fantasy X is narrated by Tidus, but he's narrating it from the footstep of Xanarkand. That opening scene where he climbs up there and he's talking about this being his story and he's gonna do it his way. And so when you actually get down off of what's the mountain's name, Gagazet, and you get back to that scene, I don't know. It was always kind of an interesting thing for me because I'm like, okay, I remember this. This is where we are at the opening. Okay, and this goes right here. Final Fantasy 16 also has a part like that, because you open in like 13 years in the future, right? But Final Fantasy 16 does it twice back to back, doesn't it? Because it opens with the Ifrit Bahamut fight, and then that turns out to be like a flashback of Clive in the future, just remembering when that happened. And then like he gets knocked out and you go back 13 years in the past and it leads right up until the moment that he was thinking about in the future. You're like, hey, I remember that. And then he gets drug off and then goes back to the future. You're like, okay, so now we're caught back up again to where we were before. Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool. I like that mechanic in storytelling. Okay, got a little Tetris piece right there. And then above that, looks like we've got a rectangle. Just like that. Alright, and then this song is from Final Fantasy VIII. If you did not know. It's one of my favorite songs from Final Fantasy VIII, actually. Just like every other entry in the series, 8 has some pretty awesome music. That's always been one area where Final Fantasy completely excelled and beat many of its contemporaries, was in music design. Especially in the earlier games, when you didn't have voice acting, the music really had to kind of stand out and carry its own while you were just reading text all the time. And Uematsu was just perfect for all of that. Absolutely brilliant. Alright, we got another little square right there. Alright. So I think that's all of the darker brown around the entire piece. All right, and this part's really gonna start to take shape once I start putting in some of these colors over here, which is what I think I'm gonna hit up next. Okay, because I've got tan and I've got sand. And I think tan is going to hit the highlights of the hair. Like right here. Yeah. Right there. And then right above, right there, we've got one of them. And then right here. I think we'll go for butterscotch for the eye. Maybe either butterscotch or honey. Okay. Right. Oh, this is one I haven't heard in a while. You don't really hear that many songs from Final Fantasy 15. 15 is not one of the games I remember for its musical contributions to the series. I honestly think 15 was lacking a little bit when it came to its soundtrack. Yeah, like everybody talks about the Stand By Me cover that was put into the game. But as far as like music itself, I've always felt that 15 was weak on that point. Like it had potential to be more than what it was, but then like I think that can kind of be said about 15 as a whole. It's a game that had more potential than what it used. But then I can kind of understand why 15 turned out the way it did. Because 15 is one of those games that you could say was stuck in development hell for a long time. And it actually stems back to Final Fantasy 13. Because 15 was originally supposed to be a tie-in game for Final Fantasy 13. And we see that even down through the first demo of the game that came out, which featured Noctis, but in a Final Fantasy 13 direct tie-in kind of setting. I think a lot of people don't even remember that demo because it was a weird one where you're in like this like giant kitchen thing. Like I don't even remember all of it, but I remember it was kind of strange. And like we're talking many years ago. This was like, oh, when did that thing come out? Like 2013 maybe? 2013, 2014? Yeah, 15 was in development for a long while. And it was originally entitled Fabula Nova Crystallis. All right. Because I think they were expecting Final Fantasy 13 to be a lot more popular than what it was. But when Lightning Returns failed spectacularly, they kind of nixed the rest of the Final Fantasy 13 project, which was what Final Fantasy 15 was. Because Lightning Returns is it's bad. So we got two there. You got square. Okay, so that's that. And then here, yeah, 3 and the 1, the 2. Right. I think. Do I want to use sand for the face or for the hair? This is fawn, isn't it? Yeah. So we have fawn there. And then in this one we have peach. Right here. Which I'm thinking about using for like the highlights around the face. Yeah. Let's go ahead and lay these in with peach. This song here is from Final Fantasy IX. I think I would recognize every single piece of music from Final Fantasy IX. So I think I'm going to go sand for the face and fawn for the hair. So up here, how's that look? If I pull that out and put this in, how's that look? Actually, I think I might just lay down pastel yellow for the hair. Okay. Let's use sand for the face here. Alright, so if I'm using sand here, go ahead and drop these in and see what we got. So you can kind of see it. I think I'm going to want to pull out these peach and use a different color than peach. Okay, let's go ahead and fill in the rest of the sand though. Got that. those. Looks like we got 3 more right below that. And 2 right there. And 2 right there. This song has been played in several different Final Fantasy games. Typically associated with Mog, I believe. But I actually don't know which one of the games this song originated in. If I had to guess, I would say Final Fantasy III. The introduction of Moogles. But yeah, fun Final Fantasy fact. Before Final Fantasy III, there were no Moogles in the game. In the first Final Fantasy game, there wasn't even a Cid. Like, what? Not my Final Fantasy. I know, right? I know. No Cid? How can you even call that Final Fantasy? Okay, here's where we are right now. So now we've got some color choices that we need to make. We need like a darker, like dingier yellow color. And I think butterscotch might make that happen. Or cheddar. But I don't know, it doesn't really seem... Because this is the color of Magni's eyes. Obviously we've got yellow on the bottom. But what we're going to need for the other pieces is either going to be honey, which is this one here, or butterscotch, which is this one here. These I think are the 2 closest to the yellow that I see that I need. Okay. Looking at my yellow options, this is what I've got. These are all specialty yellows. This is actual, like, yellow, except for this one, which is a neon block. So this yellow I don't think is dark enough to be the one that I'm looking for. But I think it might serve as the yellow everywhere else in the piece. So let's go ahead and drop that there. And we'll use this as like the bounding bright yellow we see all over the place. Like right here. And it's really just kind of dotting this color in. Unless we take pastel yellow. I mean, I suppose we could try that. Let's see what it looks like with pastel yellow. Okay, so that box on the bottom, this one on the top. And then right here, do we get the kind of... Ooh, I think we go yellow, pastel yellow. Just like that. Bam, and where did I see rust? Okay. Got a couple of places where I need to drop in a rust speed. Right here. Right here. Right here. There we go. I think that works. And I also think that's all of the rust beads that I need. So we'll go ahead and seal that box up and set him right back over there. Alright, so now that we've decided, we can go ahead and fill in eyes. The appropriate tones of yellow. It strikes me that I need... I think I was right with the butterscotch move before. Yeah, I think I was definitely right with going with a darker color there. But on the seam note, I think this is gonna feel perfectly for the hair color. Fawn might actually fill that in better. I don't think I'm gonna need pastel yellow at all. Let's try butterscotch for the eyes. I think it's ever so slightly the wrong color. But I don't think I have the right color. Yeah, I think we're gonna use fawn for filling in the brighter pieces of the hair up here. Just like that. Perfect. Maybe not like perfect, but these pieces that I'm missing around here, I originally had filled in with peach. I think I may need to pull up a picture of Mr. Dezmond here as reference. Color reference mainly. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can find a color reference for Mr. Dezmond here. A lot of the artwork that I'm seeing of Magni has his hair as kind of like either a light brown or a sandy color. And I think this matches up pretty well with what I'm getting for his actual hair color here. Okay. So now I need the darker yellow color, but I can go ahead and drop these yellow pieces in everywhere they need to go. Right there in the middle of that. And all the way down here, we got one right there. Then right here, we got some yellow action going on. I missed some purple pieces right there. Okay, then all the way over here. Yellow there and there. And then right there. And then right here. I do believe that's everything that I need the yellow for. Okay, so does honey fill that spot of darker yellow? I used this. Was this butterscotch or was this honey? Butterscotch. I think we'll go with honey if we were in the like actual suit. And leave the butterscotch, let that be unique for the eyes. here. And right here. And then now here's a song. I dare say there's some people that this song still hits in the fields for right now. Okay. I think I can use orange cream right here. Because it's not as bright as peach, and it fits in with brown. Because brown is just dark orange. I guess I can fall into things a lot of people don't know about color theory. That brown and orange, same tone. Brown is just dark orange. Maybe these two pieces, this one and this one, aren't rust, but a different shade of brown that matches that one. Okay. Put that there. Where is my purple? Where's apricot, by the way? Maybe I want to drop tan right there. No, I don't think it's tan. I might just leave it as rust. Yeah. But these two right here are purple. Right over here. That's blank, and that's blank. And then right here, we're going to drop in a pastel yellow and a brown. Gingerbread, I think, actually. So how I missed that little gingerbread piece, I have no idea. Okay. We're gonna take one pastel yellow and drop it in right there. And then we need a rust. Right there, like that. All right. Let's take a look here at our, I believe, completed Magni Dezmond. Oh, nope, nope, nope. We're missing two. We're missing some purple. Which color purple are we missing? This one. Right like that. Okay. Yep. Now we can put these extra beads over here away. Apple. That one was red. That was rose. And these are flamingo. And I think those are peach. Those are flamingo. Oh, these are indeed peach. All right. Oh. That right up there. And there we go. Magni Dezmond, I believe. Complete. I don't see any missing holes anywhere in the piece. I love that I missed having to use another board here by literally one space. Like I was one space away there from having to to put down another pegboard. Okay, tape time. Now, as for things that I do have a hard time doing with gloves on, getting the masking tape started qualifies as one of those things. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay that down right there. Because these are multi-board pieces, whenever I make a multi-board piece, I'm gonna have to go ahead and do the taping of it, like right then, I think. But meanwhile, you guys should pop on over to Twitter or here on YouTube. In both places, I have a poll going right now for which game is going to appear on Final Fantasy Friday. And I've given you two options to choose from this time. Either stepping into Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII, or taking a little bit of a different approach and going into Kingdom Hearts, the first Kingdom Hearts game. When I checked earlier today, on Twitter was the only place where I have votes so far, and it was 50-50. So that doesn't really help all that much. But we can't have a tie. You guys need to make it happen. Be decisive. Go in, vote for the one you want, and that will be the game that we start up on Friday. Here we go. Now, full punching time. Oops. I guess everybody is off in their own little world today. Nobody's being particularly chatty. Just one of those chill days, chill, listen to music. I guess you guys are watching my stream, which is cool. Thank you for coming and tuning in and watching me poke holes in masking tape. I'm sure this is the highlight of the day, right? Watching me make this tape holy. Oop. Every once in a while, I poke a hole in a place that does not contain a bead. It's fine. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? I don't really recognize that song. It must be from one of the Final Fantasy games that I am not particularly familiar with. And there are a couple. I'm not familiar that well with Final Fantasy 12. I think I've only finished 12 one time. I'm not overly familiar with 4, 5, and 6 because I've never actually finished any of those games. What? Never finished Final Fantasy 6? I know, right?
But back in the day on the Super Nintendo, it was not a game that I had. And some of you may know my history with the Super Nintendo. I did not actually have mine for a super long period of time because it got stolen from me. Right when some really interesting games were starting to come out, is when I lost my Super Nintendo. It was stolen by my neighbor who lived in front of us at the time. And what really sucked is that, like, I didn't spot that it was them that stole it. And they actually did the brilliant thief move of coming over and helping us, like, look for it. And they actually showed me exactly how they got into the trailer. Because we were living in a little trailer that my uncle gave us. At the back of this little trailer park. And they showed us exactly how they broke into it, and I didn't catch on that it was them that did it until years later when they moved out. And I was helping the next group of people move in, and we found one of my old game cartridges behind their refrigerator. But yeah, that's the story of me losing my Super Nintendo. That was 1994. And I wouldn't end up getting back into Super Nintendo games until many, many years after that. Because the next console that I actually got was the Nintendo 64, which came out 2 years later. So there were like 2 years there that we didn't really have a video game console. And then I remember I went from the N64 to the PlayStation. Not the original version of it, because they made 2 versions of the first PlayStation. The big brown square clunky one, and then a smaller, about like this size, like sleeker, rounder one. And I bought that one. And that's actually where my Final Fantasy obsession kicked in. Because I had already played Final Fantasy VII. I actually played it on the PC. I had the PC version of FF7. Yeah, because there was totally a PC version of FF7. And it was actually created by an in-house studio of Square Enix. The one that they sold recently, Eidos Interactive, or I believe it came to be known as Square Enix Montreal, right before they sold it. That's where games like Deus Ex and the Tomb Raider games came out of, Eidos. But yeah, they made the PC version of Final Fantasy 7 and 8, and they were making a PC version of 9, but that ended up getting scrapped for some reason. But I remember like some of the promos for it, because it was like a collector's edition box kind of dealio. Oops. And it may have been released in Japan, but it was never released over here in the US. Which is sad, because Final Fantasy IX is my favorite. Final Fantasy, you can tell when I hit a spot that doesn't have a beat, because that's an oops moment. But yeah, if they had released the PC version of FF9, I totally would have gotten it. I own too many versions of FF9. But yeah, my next console after the N64 was a PS1. And they called it the PS1, ONE. And with it, I bought Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Anthology, and Chronicles. So I had all of those. Not the black box editions, I had the green box editions. If you don't know what that means, PlayStation 1 games either had a black border indicating their original release, or a green border indicating that they were a player's choice release, so they had sold over 1 million copies. So I had the green border versions of it. And I think I also got the Origins collection, which was my first introduction to the broader world of Final Fantasy. Because I had played 7, and I had never really given Final Fantasy the time of day before I played 7. And then I picked it up again on the PS1, thinking I would play the PS1 version, but I played 8 first, and I loved 8. And then I played 9, and I absolutely fell in love with that. And then I played Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger was actually on the Chronicles collection. It was Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger. And I started falling in love with some of the Super Nintendo games that I missed. Because Chrono Trigger was one of the games that I never got to play when I was a kid. But I played it for the first time on the PS1 re-release version. And absolutely fell in love with the game. Okay, there's no beat there. Oops. No beat there either. Okay. Yeah, Chrono Trigger was amazing. Then I did not play Final Fantasy 4. I started playing Final Fantasy 6. But for some reason I never finished it. And I don't remember why. Funny we're talking about Final Fantasy 6, and then we've got like the Presario theme playing right here. This is the song that Celeste sings in the opera cutscene. I think it also doubles as her theme song. I hear in the Pixel Remaster that they gave that scene an upgrade and actually put full vocal lines in there for the opera. Which sounds like it would actually be pretty amazing. Because the opera scene, hearing everyone tell it, was one of those wow moments on the original SNES. It was one of the things that you didn't think the SNES could do. Like, nobody saw the opera scene coming, and when it happened, it was just one of those, like, shut up and just watch the game be awesome moments. Which is something I absolutely love Final Fantasy IV. There were a lot of moments where it's just like, just shush and watch the game be awesome. And that holds true even to Final Fantasy 16 that we just finished on the channel. There are so many moments where it's like awesome things are happening. Just sit back and watch. You will be impressed. You are going to like this. All right. And there is our Mag Lord himself. Alright. Get that turned around here. We can pull these up now. Yeah. Alright. Perfect. So far, out of 3 perlers, we've had 3 perfect pulls, and I've not had to try to put beads back in place on the tape. Which is something that happens, because you can absolutely bump these little guys, and they come out of place. But that's one of the reasons why I take such care with making sure that each bead is like adhered properly to the tape. I am plugging up the iron right at the moment. Alright, so now we get the iron. And we get the iron turned on. And set that there to start heating up. Focus. Focus, camera. 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 Focus. Focus. There we go. There we go. There's focus. Now we just got to wait for the iron to get hot so that we may strike while the iron is hot. Get it? Haha, it's clever. Okay. Grab a piece of parchment paper here. This is the same piece of parchment paper that I used yesterday to iron out tear. Get that down. I think that's pretty warm. So let's just get a basic warming going on here. And just with a gentle pressure, which is basically just the weight of the iron itself, we're just moving back and forth to get a basic melt going across the beads. You don't want to push down, because you might end up squashing beads. Don't be afraid to pull the iron off and see like what areas need a little more care. Okay. And with it's good to know where the hottest part of your iron is. I know that right in the center of my iron is where it's hottest. But occasionally I'm going to need to come back in with the point and close up a few beads here. All right. Now, I'm going to move this over here. And place a heavy object right on top. And then turn our iron off. And we'll go ahead and set the iron up there. Let that cord run around like that. And for our second perler of the day. Okay, now we're going to bring our best boy, Torgal. Now, Torgal seems fairly straightforward with his design. We're going to be playing with grays and purples, mostly. And it looks like there we go. Sudake Dani from, I butchered that name. Sudake Dani from Final Fantasy X. Okay. Now it looks like we're going to need one yellow and I think honey. So let's go ahead and drop down the beads that I think I'm going to need there. 2 of those. Two more. Oh. This is one of the Final Fantasy songs that I do not think I am capable of singing. Like, I could sing most of the songs associated with Final Fantasy. This one, though, no. This song is a lot harder to sing than what it sounds like. Alright, we're gonna grab one little yellow right there. Alright, oh. Wait a minute. We need black. What I need is a bigger side table. Okay, okay. Now. Coming down from the top a bit. We'll start Torgal's nose. Right over here with 3 in the front. At the bottom right there. And then from the top we go into step up and we got 2 more. And then step up from that. And that little Tetris piece we got 2 more. And we got 2 here. And 2 here. And we get the 4 right up there with that little square. Ooh, okay. I only just cleared that. Yeah, okay. Let's scoot Torgal down 1, shall we? There. Now we are one from the edge on both sides of that with Torgal. Okay, and then we just go kind of diagonally there for a bit. And then create like a little L shape there. And then go diagonally with 3 more. And then go down 3. And then step over and go down 2. Okay, and then we have a little black square right below that. Here. Just like that. And then, from the bottom side of that square, we have a little Tetris piece. Just drop that right on there. And then that connects to the back and goes back up. Alright, let's go to the inside first. Now off the front, top of that, looks like we go over 3. Just like that. And then we go diagonal a bit and then have 2 right there. And below this we have 2. Alright. And then we have those 2 right there. Bam, just like that. Alright, and then we have a little black square right below that. And then right like that, a little step down, we get that piece right there. And that goes into kind of like a little bit there and creates the bottom. Just 3 into the front. 1 up. And then from back here, kind of have a little M shape going on. Like that. And then that just connects straight across. Bam, just like that. Now we got the whole bottom part of Torgal right here. And now we're gonna make the tail, which curls up into the back. So this goes up for 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2. And then 4 going diagonally. All right. So now we are creating the front bit of Torgal right here in front. And 2 right there. And then 3 right here. Just like that. One right there. Two there. You got kind of that M pattern going on here again. 4 across. Bam, and there's our outline of Torgal. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, now we can start filling in the colors on Torgal, I think. With the black in place, we can see everywhere that we need to place yellow. Or in this case, the honey-colored beads. One there and one there. One here. One here. Three here. And then one on either side right there, and then the yellow one right there in the middle. Bam. Now we need to test in the other colors that we are going to use to bring Torgal to life here. And I think they're going to be, this is dark gray. This is light gray. This I think is called Thistle. This one's called Thistle. And this right here is light gray. So I think we're going to be using Thistle and light gray, gray and dark gray. Yeah, I think we're actually gonna... This song I recognize, the Tetra Master theme. I think we're actually gonna be using charcoal as well. So we're gonna be using dark gray and charcoal to kind of set off. Like the darker areas of Torgal down here. So which of these is actually darker than the other? Or do I want to just go? So we have dark gray, light gray, gray and light gray right there. Then I would need something even lighter. Well, let's go ahead and put down the Thistle, because I know that that's the color I'm going to be using there. Alright, so we got 3 pieces there. And kind of going up the tail a little bit here. With a little Tetris piece right there. And then one more right there. And then that's going to be with a lighter gray color right there. Probably light gray on that. right here we got two little spots. Right here we got two more. Got one right there. Got one right there. The tip of the nose. And right there. Right there. There. And we go diagonal for 4 blocks, it looks like. Okay, why don't you go on there? Come on. Okay. It's just being difficult. Alright, we got... another song from Final Fantasy VIII. There are 2 white pieces that I did not pull out. I think it's safe enough to note that we are going to be using light gray for like the tail. We'll start with the lighter colors and work backwards, I think. And that'll be the best way, I think, to do Torgal. Okay. We're just gonna slot these little guys in right here. Alright, of all the Final Fantasy games I've played so far, 8 was one that kind of shocked me. I did not remember 8 being as short as it was. But like we blitzed through Final Fantasy VIII. Like we went through that game really fast. I did not remember it actually being that short of a game. Okay. 2 more right there. And then right like that. Alright, and now we're looking for a lighter color of gray, but only slightly. I might actually use this frosted lilac right here for it. I don't think I have anything else. That could qualify. Let's see what it looks like when slotted in. I think it works pretty well. Come on, let's give me some beads I can grab here. Yeah, I think that works wonderfully well. Then we got two more pieces right up here. Right there. Let me double check. Bring Torgal back here. Center him up a little bit. Okay, so we got those two pieces. We got all of the light gray pieces, well, almost all. We got a few more around the body that has to go into place. Like right here. And right here. Right here. Okay. And then with gray. Okay, we got one piece right there. Looks like we got two right there. One right there. And right there. And looks like we're just kind of going up a little bit after the thistle pieces right there. Stepping down one. And we got like a little L-shaped thing going on here. Ooh. And then right there. Okay, so now we're looking at the darker grays for Torgal. And I've got these two, but I'm not sure that these two are different enough in shade. This one is more of a blue, but this one might be too light. So I think I am going to just use these two. And we'll just kind of sort it out, I guess. Okay. So we're going to be placing dark gray, which is what this color is, above both of these little honey colored beads. Okay. Right below there. And then two more. Let's get some patterns here, but I can actually grab some things. those two right there. And got that one. Okay, right here and right here. And then with this slightly darker. Oh, there we go. That's something I haven't heard in quite a while. Going all the way back to Ron Fair. This is from Final Fantasy XI. Okay. Drop two right there. Drop this guy here and here. And then one more right below that light gray square. And then right below that, two more. Kind of make a little L-shaped pattern there. And then these guys slot in right there. And this one all the way right up here at the top, just like that. And then we're gonna fill in the other area here with the other gray. Slot that in right there. Okay. Oop. Missed one. There we go. Sometimes when you start getting to this point in the pattern and like you're surrounded by beads, you're gonna want to start putting them in one at a time because you can't always get two to go in properly. And a good thing for setting them up is to kind of try to, you can make two beads on one side and lean over a little bit so you can create clearance for yourself. Because if you just try to push it like that straight down in there, you're not going to really be able to get a good fit going like straight down. But if you lean it over to the side and just kind of let it fall into the hole, it'll fall on the peg correctly like 90% of the time at least. Okay, so now we've got two of the darker bits right here and one of the lighter bits right here. Okay. Actually missed putting in a lighter bead right there. Okay. And then over here with the charcoal again, let's stir that up a little bit so I can get some pieces I can grab. I'm going to put down the two diagonal pieces right there. And then looks like I've got a 6-piece rectangle right here. Bam. And then a little Tetris T piece right on top of that. Bam. And then we got a little Tetris S piece right here. Now we're all the way back to Final Fantasy VII. This piece of music is going to be in Rebirth, which, if the rumors are to be believed, is going to be in January. But I highly doubt that those rumors are accurate, because January is a horrible time to release a game. It's probably going to be much closer to March. If I had to put a point on it, it might be in January. It might be in February. It's a good chance that it could be in February if it's ready. But I would bet we're probably going to be seeing Rebirth in March. I am going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the channel. By the time I get to that point, I hope to have the original FF7, Crisis Core Reunion, and FF7 Rebirth and Intergrade on the channel completed. And that is almost finished. I need a couple of whites. Okay, here we go. And with these two, bam. Torgal. So look at that. Our best boy from Final Fantasy XVI in 2D sprite form. And I figure I've got time to tape him up. The Final Fantasy sprites have not been all that complicated to make. They're a lot simpler than the Tempest Boy sprites. And I think that's because all of these sprites were made specifically in the Final Fantasy VI style. Hey, welcome. And so because they're like old, like 16-bit sprites of a more simplistic design, they're a little bit easier to make. And a little bit smaller. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I recognize this song too. Oh my god, which one is this from? You say that, but I've got sprites for young Clive, young Jill, young Joshua, Torgal, Sir Wade, Sir Tyler, Lord Commander Murdoch, and that's just like the 13 years ago section. And then in like the little middle section, I have Clive, Jill, Clive with his, like, in the black armor, Clive, and in the red armor, Clive. The three bastards that he was with, Tiamat, Beost, and the other guy, I can't remember his name. I've got Sid, I've got Hippocrates, I've got Vivian, I've got Joshua in the future. They're in the game. If I pull up my thing here, I can actually show you. Like, this is Abus, and like I pulled it straight out of a screenshot. So the file you saw with Torgal a minute ago, what I did is I pulled the screenshot out, and you see how blurry it is. So I had to go over this and basically redraw the entire sprite based on this. So I can see where there's supposed to be black, like where there's different variations of green, where there's different variations of brown, and I basically just redrew the entire sprite, and then made color substitutions based on which bead colors that I knew I had available. This is Beost. This is branded Clive in the red armor. This is Jill. This is Gav. This is your uncle, Lord Byron. This is Joshua. This is Dion. This is young Jill. Young Joshua. Young Sir Wade. This is Sir Tyler. This is Lord Commander Murdoch. This is branded Clive in the black armor. Torgal. There's Sid. Young Clive, which I made yesterday. Here is a collection somebody made on Tumblr with some different variations of Jill and Clive. Okay, and this is a bunch of other references I have. I'm going to be making sprites of a bunch of different Final Fantasy characters. So yeah, if you recognize any of these guys, after I finished going through like what I got, like there's Minwoo from Final Fantasy 2. I've got quite a collection of things here. PERLER sprites. But yeah, Torgal is where we're at right now, in the process of getting all these beads pushed down on here and then poking some holes. So yeah, there's some prep work involved before I step up and just start making PERLERs on stream. A lot of people like that don't do streaming don't realize how much prep work is actually involved. Because in order for me to have a design here that I can actually use, I have to like find a suitable design. I'm actually working on getting some additional designs. I'm looking to try to get some of the villains, because I want Benedicta, I want Hugo, I want Barnabas. Whoops. And like one of the things that I mined to get a lot of sprites from a lot of different games is there's an old mobile game which has been discontinued now called Final Fantasy Record Keeper. And one of the things they did with Record Keeper is they brought in a bunch of characters from other Final Fantasy games across the entire series. So for the first time, we saw 2D characters of Cloud and Squall and Zidane and Yuna and Tifa. Like basically, if they were a main Final Fantasy character or villain, they appeared at some point in Record Keeper before it was discontinued, all the way up to Final Fantasy 15. And luckily 16 has some built-in sprites. So I was able to go to the Spriters resource, which is a website, where people have basically ripped the sprites out of games and find pretty much every Final Fantasy character and job from that site. And from there, they only need minor touch-ups before I can turn them into PERLER patterns. Unfortunately, there are no sprites on that site from Final Fantasy 16, so I'm having to rip the sprites out of the game myself and make PERLER patterns. But the only ones that are in the game are characters that were in your party. Because at some point in the party menu, if a character joins your party, they'll appear in the menu at the bottom, and then they'll appear on the save screen as well. And so you can save and pull, you can like screenshot those, or in my case, I pulled them off of my archives, the streams archives that went up. And I got them all that way. But since you never have Benedicta or Hugo in your party at any time, I wasn't able to get those. And I kind of want to have some villains, because I have villains for all of the other Final Fantasy games. Because I've got Sephiroth and all of the Turks from Final Fantasy VII, for example, in the style of the Final Fantasy party. I've got Idea, Ultimecia, Cypher, Fujin, and Raijin from Final Fantasy VIII. Not as like boss sprites, but as party member sprites. So I think it'd be cool to have like a Kupka, Benedicta, Barnabas sprites, but I'm either gonna have to wait for somebody to draw them and then get permission to use them, or commission somebody to draw them. And I think I only know one pixel artist, and I don't know if he's taking commissions. I am friends with a guy from the UK named John. You may know him around the internet as Sovin Jedi, but he's a pixel artist that's worked for companies like Niantic. Like he worked on the Cave Story remake and like Super House of Dead Ninjas. And he posts some really cool PERLER art on Twitter. Some big fancy stuff. I don't know if he's open for commissions. But if he is, I might be able to get him to draw up some stuff. Okay, let's get the iron on here. Wait for that to heat up. And nice little piece of parchment paper for Torgal here. And you want to be careful about creases on your parchment paper. And try to get those out if you can, because you can transfer those creases over to the project if you are not like careful with it. Okay, so while the iron is heating up, I think our Maglord over here is pretty much done. All right. Okay, so let's bring Magni back over here and pull the tape off of the back side. And as you can see, tape comes off wonderfully well. You cannot see me move at all because I set the iron in front of my camera. All right, so there we go. Magni Dezmond, you can see through a lot of the beads. They didn't close up super tight on that, but that's okay. We still have a pretty good, like it's a little flexible in some areas. So I may end up going back and like melting these a little bit more. But we got a pretty solid bond on it right there. All right, so we will set Magni right over here. And our iron is hot, so let's get to work on Torgal. Okay, just like before, the hottest part of my iron is right in the center. So I'm just going to be using like light pressure. And I can actually turn and get most of Torgal like completely under the iron this way. And so using light pressure, just kind of sealing everything up. All right. Okay. And now, let's move this guy over here and get our heavy book right back on top. And we're going to get a little remedial ironing done on Magni here. Now for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and heat it back up a little bit. But just ever so slightly, just trying to get a little bit of a heavier melt on some of these beads to get them to close up a little bit. Don't ever be afraid to if you have to go back and iron a little bit more on a piece to get some beads to close up a little bit. Okay. Now, I think we can actually set Magni over here with Torgal. Our book is big enough, I think, to have them both. Alrighty, now we want to turn that off. Yeah, probably. That actually sounds very much like a Sylvan thing. I know he did play around with Burke and McDowell like way back in the day. I don't think he's done much recently. And the last time I talked to him was actually I set the iron in front of my camera again. The last time I talked to him was actually a couple years ago when we did the Christmas present surprise for Brick Road. Sylvan and Dan helped me get that all set up. And they were actually very instrumental in the process. Because I think it was Sylvan that got me in touch with Peanut, and Dan that actually got me in touch with Brick Road's mom, who were both in on that surprise. That was when like we got him the funds to buy the PS5. Yeah, like I roped in Dan and Sylvan, Kefka Floyd and Sylvan, and consequently Peanut and Brick's mom. So we were all conspiring together. Okay. Yeah. Now we have a little bit of a tighter melt on Magni here, but as you can see, if you look at it from the side, he's kind of curling up, and he's still very warm. So what I'm going to end up doing is just putting him down and putting the heavy book right on top of him. And letting him sit like that. Then Torgal is pretty much completely done now. The smaller perlers actually iron out very, very quickly. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull our best boy off. And he's going to go back under a book as well because he's curling a little bit too. As you can see, there's a slight curve to him. But here is Torgal. And there are going to be pictures on the Twitter and the Facebook. Not the Facebook. I'm holding things in front of the camera again. The Twitter and the YouTube of the finished perlers. And with them from yesterday, there is Clive and Torgal from yesterday and today. That's the beat side. This is the flat side on both of those guys. And Magni needs to be under the weight while he cools down. But here is Altair, Regis Altair, leader of Guild Tempest. And there's the flat side of him. So yeah, I am planning to do these perler streams like once a week. And I'm going to be making about 2 perlers, I guess, per stream. That seems like a pretty good amount of time. It's about 3-4 hours to make 2 perlers. So yeah. Tomorrow, we're going to be back with more Tears of the Kingdom. And then Diablo 4 the day after that. Tears of the Kingdom again the day after that. And this Friday, we're going to be starting a new Final Fantasy game. So there's a poll on Twitter and on YouTube as for what is the next Final Fantasy game is going to be. And the options right now are Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So pop over to YouTube and Twitter and cast your vote. I'm just going to add them together at the end of it. And we'll see which game comes out on top, and which is the next one I'm playing on the channel, FF7 of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, those other games. Everything kind of stopped for Final Fantasy 16. So yeah. Alrighty, got those put away. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with more Legend of Zelda. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.